A furious MEP has ripped into the top EU bosses in Brussels, Ursula von der Leyen and Charles Michel, calling for them to be ashamed of their role in the coronavirus catastrophe plaguing Europe. Bulgaria's MEP Angel Jumbasky said the top EU bosses should be ashamed of themselves in a scathing rebuke of Brussels' handling of the pandemic. He went on to label European Council President Charles Michel a hypocrite during the fiery address in the European Parliament this week. This comes after European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen was forced into a grovelling apology to Italy on behalf of Brussels. In her speech to MEPs on Thursday, Mrs. von der Leyen admitted Europe had failed to show solidarity with Italy at the start of the pandemic outbreak. She said, "It is true that no one was really ready for this. It is also true that too many were not there on time when Italy needed a helping hand at the very beginning," she said in a speech to the European Parliament. And yes, for that, it is right. An opinion poll last month found that 88% of Italians felt the EU had failed to support their country, prompting fears in Brussels of a Eurosceptic backlash. French President Emmanuel Macron has warned that the European Union faces a moment of truth and the bloc will splinter if it fails to unify in its response. Responding to Mrs. von der Leyen's intervention, Mr. Jumbasky first took issue with the silence among EU chiefs on China's alleged cover-up of the pandemic. He said, "No one here has said anything about Communist China for having kept silent, for having spreading lies. It is just like the Soviet Union lied to the world about Chernobyl and that led to thousands of deaths here in Europe." The MEP went on to blame the EU Commission for the chaotic European response to the virus outbreak, saying member states were forced to fend for themselves due to Brussels' refusal to act. He explained, "Commissioner, it is the EU Commission who was late and it was due to those delays." Ending his attack, Mr. Jumbasky then went on to attack Charles Michel for passing a mobility package that will render European heroes unemployed after the crisis. He said, "My very dear Charles Michel, you should be ashamed. I believe you are that today, in the midst of all of this, you are deciding on the mobility package. Hundreds of thousands of Bulgarian, Polish, Romanian and Czech drivers are saving the lives of people in Belgium, France, Germany and the Netherlands. Now, these drivers are welcome. Now, they are not sent home. Now, there is no mobility package. Now, they are working 12 hours a day, sleep in their truck cabins and nobody sends them back to their home countries. And tomorrow you will kick them out. It is hypocrisy. It is mad. We are not going to side with this. These measures are not reasonable, they are fantasy." Viewers online commended his speech for calling out the corrupt